So I have this big, beautiful river here, and I just wanted to show you how amazing this river is. And this can be like our business. If this is our business, how amazing can our business be as amazing as this river is? And you know, sometimes we might be all nice and cloudy skies and everything, or it's just kind of cloudy and beautiful. And then when we look the other way, we might be looking at, you know, the storms are coming in and things along the lines of that. So what do we want to have? Do we want to have the cloudy side that is ready for storms coming in, or do we want to have the not cloudy side of that right there? And so I want to talk about following up. How important is it to follow up our business, and so that way we can keep getting business and moving on? If we don't follow up, we will go out of business. And so in 2014, I never followed up. I did own my business for 2 years, and I never followed up. And what did that account to me? That means I lost business, and I just lost business. If we don't follow up is like us down here fishing in the river with a pole, and we throw our bait out and we lay it on the rock right there and we walk away and we do nothing with it. And when we do that, what does that mean? That means that we have our bait out in the water, so we paid for our lead, and they might nibble on it, and they might call us, and if we never follow up and we don't pull that fish in, then we are losing business. So in 2015, I started doing a couple different things of following up. First off, I started with email marketing, email sequences. So instead of me just dropping my pole down there, I started sending emails out. So you know what? If something bit my bait and didn't take it, I would throw it out again and see if I can get that same exact fish versus let it go on to the next one and don't worry about it, and we'll go somewhere else and get it along the ways of that. So following up is very, very important. If we don't follow up, as Ray would put, we'll fold up, and that is 100% true. And we need to follow up whether we are doing an email sequences, and honestly, we need to follow up whether we're doing email sequences, whether we are doing calling them back, texting them, anything we can do to make sure we are following up. And so you might say, but the famous one I always get is, Jason, I don't have no work. Well, if you don't have no work, have you sat down one day a week and designate that I'm going to call all my customers that have gotten a quote that didn't close? Or the other one I always hear is, my close rate is 95%. Well, you need to raise your prices. If you're at 70%, you need to raise your prices. That's a whole nother video. That's like us wanting to fish way out there and buying a little pole so we can just fish the little fish here. The big fish aren't going to be here. The big fish are going to be way out there, way out there. The big fish aren't going to be right here by the rocks. And so when we buy us a little pole and we're the $99 guy, we're gonna get them right here, and that's where we're gonna get the little fish. If we want the big fish, the big houses, the big jobs, we gotta go out here and fish out in the middle of the water. We might even have to get so big we got to go out in a boat to go out there and get them. And so if you're going to be the $99 guy, you're going to be sitting here. Do you see fishermen that are the cheap fishermen sitting here, or do you see the cheap ones out in the big boat? You never see anybody out in the big boat that's trying to get big fish. You're going to see them sitting here, and they're going to get little fish, and the people out there are going to get big fish. And so when we follow up, we have to follow up. So there's systems out there. Can we do it ourselves? Yes, we can do it. Greg he just started doing pressure washing, and he's done $20,000 just in like 6-8 weeks. And what he told me he does is, one thing he does is he puts on his Google Calendar every third day to follow up. So if he gets a quote today, he'll go on his calendar and put on there to follow up with this customer 2-3 days out, whatever you want it to be. And that, whether we're sending an email, sending a text, sending a phone call, whatnot. So this is the easy way this is the hard way. There is systems that we can use to do it the hard or the easy way. One of those systems, some of your CRMs will set some of this up for you. Other CRMs will not set this up for you, or it's very difficult. So if we go from open to close, or we go from, so I send out emails. When I started in 2015, when I really started using, I used a product called Responsibid. Now, is Responsibid easy to use? Is it easy to set up? It is easy to use. It is not easy to set up. It does take some time to set it up. So I don't want you to go out there, get Responsibid and say, oh, that didn't work, because you didn't put the work into it. You have to put some work into getting everything set up, getting everything ready to be able to run Responsibid. And again, it will take time to make sure that it is set up. So with that said, Responsibid. Responsibid will send out your emails. And if you would like to try Responsibid, it does cost money. It's not cheap. But if you get it set up right, it is like an oiled well machine. It will just purr like a kitten, baby. You get that quote, it's sending out emails. It's sending you emails saying, hey, follow up to make sure this customer got her quote. Hey, and then it'll keep right on sending these emails out. And a year later, we can send out another email saying, hey, we offer these services. We offer Christmas lights. We offer different things. And when we do that, you want to talk about it making us money over and over and over again. Now, the one thing we have to do is we got to get leads. If we can't get leads, it doesn't help us to follow up. This is just one process of building our business. We really got to focus on growing our business and being successful. Again, you know, this river at one time wasn't this big. Years ago, they put dams way down here and way down there, and that backed this up. So what I'm going after is this river didn't make it this big in one day. You can't think that you're going to get this big in one day. Very few people are going to get this big, period. You're going to grow from creeks, and we're going to go up from there. And so we really got to make sure we are following up. We are sending those emails saying, hey, did you forget? Hey, you know, another set of the sequence that it was actually in one of my sequences. All my sequences are in my training. Every one of my sequences are in there. So if you want to set those sequences up that way, you can absolutely 100% set up these emails. And a lot of your CRMs will allow you to do this. This right here will help you be successful. This right here will help you be able to soar on the water versus trying to swim in the water. You know, that is what we want to do at the end of the day. We want to be able to fly, and we want systems. If we get systems, we'll be able to fly across the water. If we don't start putting systems in our business, it's like us trying to race that boat swimming versus him doing that. That is well-oiled systems working right there that will cause that boat to get on top of that water and take off and be successful. And at the end of the day, that's what I want you to be, is a successful business at the end of the day. If you're not a successful business, you might fail. But guess what? Don't quit. Failure don't mean that you can't do it. Failure means that you can just learn different things. You have learned different skills. You have learned different things to be able to be successful at maybe whatever you do next. So again, make sure that if you want to be successful, go be the boat, not the swimmer.